We live. You already know what it is. Give my man Kenny a chance.
3, 2, 1.
I know what it is. We here. Can I say it? Beanie boys and women are in the building.
Came prepared. Look at me.
That's right. We got that Beanie Boys merch in the store, AEW shop. Check it out. Links in the bio. Cop that. Some other stuff. I don't know if the 20% off is still in effect. I think they ended yesterday, so you should have got it when I put it on Twitter. Now you got to pay full price.
I know some of y'all ballers. That's okay. I mean, y'all okay with full price. It's all good. Like, y'all go ahead and do that still. Don't be like, oh, the sale over. I ain't finna cop. Nah, go cop that thing.
Look, the only time I don't look at the price tag is when I'm pulling into the gas station, okay? Because it's just
finna do not get gas.
The facts, like fill it up. I don't even care. Fill it up. My feelings are already hurt. I don't need to see it. Fill it up.
Just go. So we're not sponsored, but I would like to say, beard butter. It's definitely working for my beard.
Oh, here you go. You've been waiting for this shit.
Who not sponsored? I mean, I got a sponsorship. I just gotta finish reading through the contract.
I'm talking about the big overall check, so we all get paid. But once CL is through that 100-page contract, we'll go ahead and talk about that. But we're here. If you can't tell from the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about WWE, Royal Rumble, after the predictions that we did, were we right, were we wrong, where we go from here. Free agents that are now ready to go. Shane fired, all that goodish. So with that being said, make sure you like, share, subscribe, put us in that YouTube algorithm. If you go on Twitch, we appreciate you. Come over to the YouTube. If you're on YouTube, go over to the Twitch. We appreciate you. If you see us on Twitter, all our names is right here. Come say what's up. Come tweet us. Come talk to us. Maybe I'll add you to the group chat because my group chat leaves me on dub. So we'll see how that go.
There you go.
You know what I mean? My man was going in last night on the group chat, and I said, yo, niggas ain't talking to me? I go on Twitter. I see boom, 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 boom. I said, oh, so these niggas is on Twitter talking. They just
Who is these?
These must be you, because I'll be tweeting the damn.
Twas not I. Twas not I. I wasn't on Twitter last night.
That's how we do. That's how the fashion break up.
There you go.
But with that being said, CL, you did a good job last week. Go ahead, take it over. Lead us to the way.
All right, so I guess we'll start right off the bat with the furthest, which was the Royal Rumble. And boy, was that frustrating, disappointing, entertaining, all of the above.
You know what's crazy? I was actually generally surprised that I enjoyed it. I mean,
wow.
Obviously there's some outcomes we didn't like, but I guess I went in with so much hate that it was good enough to where I didn't hate it.
Meanwhile, I came in the opposite. I came in with good expectations and like a good mindset and was pissed off by the first match, which was Roman versus Seth. Now, it started off great.
It was a great match.
Started off immaculate. We had Seth trolling, coming out with the Shield music and full Shield gear. The only thing he was missing was his ramen noodle hair in the front. That's okay, though. We still love it. For it to end the way that it did.
I tweeted y'all when I saw him coming. I was like, "Yo, well, pause." When I saw him come in, I was like, "You know what? I might want him to win this."
Yeah. So we're gonna buy a shot batch. Again, I ain't have really a lot of expectations, especially for the match. I think I had expectations for the Rumble, which we're gonna get to eventually, obviously. But as far as like individual matches, WWE has some of the best performers in the world. So as far as in the ring, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. And again, I tell you, Seth could damn near carry anybody, and then like Roman a scrub. So those two together, we know it's gonna be a good match. Seth came in with the fire. We're not gonna lie, but again, I keep saying, I said it a couple times, trust these wrestlers and don't trust WWE, and they did it again. Like that Shield entrance. If someone told me it wasn't Seth or Roman's idea, that person at WWE need to raise, and Vince is finally listening to somebody but his own ass. But otherwise, the wrestlers doing what wrestlers do, and then WWE had to get their part in, and then that's why we end up with the result we end up with. So, but we talked about it. We talked about if this happens like this, they're gonna try to get Roman or Brock in the Rumble and in the match. We said all that stuff already. So again, that's why I wasn't really disappointed. So as far as this match goes,
I don't. What I think they should have did is whoever is going to go against Seth later. I mean, well, you know what? I'm not even mad. I'll take it back. I don't like it with a disqualification, obviously, because WWE does disqualifications all the time and roll-ups. That's their thing. I'm not mad because a lot of things were supposedly foreshadowed here. Supposedly.
too much credit.
Yeah, exactly. But they obviously paid for what Seth did to Roman. Roman getting the payback because Roman was pissed off. His feelings were hurt. The brothers and the family were broke up. I mean, Mox leave. He was sad about that. So he got his payback. Whip Seth up. Cool. I got that. It got us to where we need to get, obviously, with Brock and Roman. But then, if the credit actually works, like we said, there's too much credit. Obviously, I would think Seth is going to cost Roman his match at WrestleMania.
I mean, they're not building any stars, so ain't nobody else going to cut. Like, oh my
Because
god,
Roman's got to lose.
Hey, you know what? I know we said we're going to do Rumble first, but since you mentioned the WrestleMania, can we get Goldberg and Roman out of the way? I can't hold on to this shit forever. I saw somebody put a post of Roman challenging Goldberg for it in 2020, and now the other way around. I'm like, first of all, this is bad on so many different ways to look at. And first of all, so someone who challenged for the title the other way is not what's happening between practically nothing, basically you could say. And then we know Goldberg's contract is what it is, so he's always going to be around for title shots because what he gonna do for a mid card belt? Like Goldberg versus Shinsuke. Like we know what's going to happen with the contract. 3 matches a year. That's 2 shots at one belt and 1 shot at the other, basically. That's what it is.
Right.
I mean, he had one with Drew where it wasn't for the belt. That's how he filled the quota last year, but that is what it is because he had already went for the belt before that. But I can't even be sick of Goldberg because I've been mowed and tired of this shit. So yeah, they had a while where there was off-screen actual beef where Goldberg was doing like interviews and shit where he seemed like he really ain't fuck with Roman like that. It's wrestling. Sometimes it's a little bit real shit behind there. But I just what do we even need? Is Seth gonna cost Roman the match and what we gonna have Goldberg as champ again?
No, I'm talking about at WrestleMania. Not this match.
Triple threat.
No, I think Roman's gonna squash Goldberg because it adds to his legacy. And then by the time then Roman's gonna run through a couple more people leading up to WrestleMania, like probably Big E. We'll get there too. But
is Goldberg a babyface? Am I supposed to believe that?
Supposedly, but I think he's gonna be another person to squash.
No, he's a geriatric face. It's different.
Oh. Well, I mean, clearly, yeah. We talking about actual age, yeah, out of there. But
I think it gives him another person to squash, gets to WrestleMania, and then I think that's when Seth will help Brock, and then takes Roman up the title picture, finally loses, and then we get Seth and Roman again, and then I don't know where they go from there. I mean, Roman can't be champ forever. I mean, maybe they want him to be.
I see them doing a triple threat.
But maybe that too. But by the time he gets to WrestleMania, it's already going on, 2 years?
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, if it was up to me, Roman would have been lost the title because it's so boring.
Well, I mean, we know that, but that's not saying necessarily. That's not really necessarily saying because the run was. I mean, the run. I mean, who is he gonna lose it to? Like, and who's gonna hold it? And who are they gonna face? It doesn't matter. We can talk about this being this isn't a Roman problem anymore. Like, we can talk about what Roman's issues are, where he lacks, but they aren't making stars. There's nothing else. Like, doesn't matter who's the champ. This was gonna happen, whether they be babyface or heel, because we got 2 per legitimate of each, basically.
I mean, let's talk about it. I told you it was fake, but they were building Big E, broke him up from New Day, and put him right back in the tag team.
Well, I mean, they never broke him up with New Day. They specifically said that several times, and I told y'all, of course they wouldn't, because New Day is the biggest moneymaker. What was the rumors after he lost the belt? The priority was always the New Day, not so. If you look at it now, again, because I told you it wasn't a quota because of the way I believe those words are used. But when you look at it now, Kofi was injured. Xavier was king of the ring for a bit, and he got the rub of Roman, and then you had Big E on the belt. So if you look at it, 2 out of 3 are in major places. The New Day quota, so to say, is still being filled because they still worried about the New Day. So because the New Day merch still selling. So say what you want about those 3 guys. They're not losing one of those 3 guys to the Indies or AEW.
I heard that last night they didn't even have him do his intro. You know, like how Biggie normally does his intro and shit. He didn't even do his intro. He just
morale is at an all-time low. Morale is at an all-time low, even though Chance hates to hear that. But it is. Like,
now, do you think it's really at an all-time low because of? Well, do you think it's because of Shane? So let's move into this, right?
No, it's not. It's not because of Shane. It's because the creative is creative all over. Well, Shane might be part of it because he was part of it.
I don't think that helped.
Yeah, he's part of creative. He's what he did, produce the couple matches on the show. But
like, if you look at it,
creative overall is trash. Like
let's look at it for creative. Like Kenny's saying, the Royal Rumble is supposed to build stars because it's supposed to set the person up for WrestleMania, give them the rub so they get to where they need to go, which we know that doesn't happen. The 3 main people that they talked about was Brock, part-timer, Ronda, part-timer, Shane, bottom 4.
Yeah.
But as I said before, it's entertainment. So we couldn't be mad.
You're entertaining me no more.
I mean, you can't be mad when you see a bad movie, you're still upset. That's entertainment. It's supposed to be entertainment. The same idea. We can still be upset. Like,
you could be, but like when I saw people like grabbing their pitchforks on Twitter, and I'm like, but it's exactly what was supposed to happen. Bad Bunny, first of all, we can't even discredit him because this man's actually showed out.
I don't know how people are mad about Bad Bunny. First of all, he Bad Bunny would be if one of us was super rich, talented in music, and then we got to be on the Royal Rumble. He's a wrestling fan. Like, I don't see how people
but he did good.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like he didn't do bad. Like,
I'm only mad at the spot, but he does train and he does take it serious, so I can't be mad at that.
What, 2 eliminations? I mean, I don't see what people kick.
I would have rather had him come in like maybe 6, 7. Get
now Charlotte's eliminations. You guys, JJ, if y'all ever talk to him anytime soon, but we watching that shit live, and I'm like, I forgot who I said was gonna be the bottom 4, and Charlotte eliminated like 3 other people. I said was gonna be the bottom 4, and I was looking at the fucking screen like, the fuck just happened?
Yeah,
we'll get to that. Let's do the men's first.
Okay, so if you had to grade the men's Royal Rumble,
worst. There was barely any surprises. The lineup was stupid.
Well, they burned so many bridges. Who the fuck are you gonna have come in?
Besides like AJ Styles, I can't really, people talk about, what the Royal Rumble is, surprise, but the surprises always come back. They're almost never new people, like traditionally speaking. That's not a thing because you can't just bring a guy, because I think you can, but WWE swears you can't. That's why fucking NXT exists for a great part. All the other stuff we talk about, they refuse to bring people just off the indies and wrestle on WWE TV because it's not the WWE style, whatever the fuck that means, because that really don't exist.
Right.
You know, it always bothers me when we record, and niggas are gonna think I'm on coke, like OD. But go ahead.
I mean, you should have done that before.
Rudolph?
You should have done that before the show. It should have got you through.
It only happens when we record.
Well, you need to do fatter lines or something. Down here in Miami, I could tell people how. I know a couple people could teach you a little something about that. Not personally me, but.
Exactly, not a single wrestler from NXT.
But I tell you that was gonna happen. People like, oh, remember the show before Rumble? People like, oh, what if Johnny Gargano come back? I'm like, yo, they're not bringing. First of all, they're not bringing somebody back. That was like not anybody like that. Number 2, they wasn't bringing no NXT people. We knew that was gonna happen. And NXT is its own entity now. It's owned by WWE, but it is not WWE TV. We knew that from when they didn't bring it back for Survivor Series. That was the truest of telling us that it was not happening ever again. Like Survivor Series.
They was like
NXT kicked WWE's ass. Like, yo, we can't have this happen again, and it hasn't. So
this is true. I didn't I wasn't too hopeful. I didn't really want to see anybody from NXT come up.
Braun Breaker.
But
I'm surprised he didn't come in. I'm surprised he didn't come in and win it.
I mean, I keep telling y'all this. Braun Breaker. At first, I was like, "Oh, this is hilarious." Now it's no longer ironically good. So it's run its course for me, which I expected.
The men's rumble was,
you know,
yeah,
it,
whatever.
I don't know. I just think that the Royal Rumble in general was just ass.
What's your grade though? Because Chance gave it an F, basically, if we're using American
Yeah,
scale. I don't think we got any UK listeners, so the scale we're gonna use the American scale. It's an F. What you got, CL?
Yeah, because there was nothing. The best thing about the whole entire Rumble was
Bad Bunny.
I could possibly say the match between Becky and I'm not calling that woman Piper, because she actually
hey, no. Piper Niven is dead. Say the name they gave her now, because Piper Niven would be fired.
VK said
yes.
minus. You said Doudrop and Becky was a good match.
Yeah, I don't. Yes, CL. I'm gonna disagree with that.
Actually, was an F plus.
I was looking
I
at
agree,
it.
I agree with Villain Killer because I didn't give my grade either. I gave it a D minus, not an F, because partially because of expectations. I didn't have particularly high expectations because again, we know we can't get surprised. We can't get this. We know so many things we can't get because there's practically there's not too many people. Unless Carlito would have came again, but we knew that wasn't happening because look what they did with what he was on Raw last year. So what was they gonna do?
Yeah, Mickey James was like the highlight.
I'll give that. Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Yeah, I think the best part about Mickey James coming out was it wasn't her WWE music. It was
with the belt.
her music. Right. That was pretty dope. But
yeah, we covered
I think
that.
it was worth it.
Seth was definitely the highlight with the Shield.
Yeah, definitely him coming out in full Shield attire.
I pop like the Rumble had started.
I'm not gonna lie, my match was probably
right.
Probably Bobby and Brock, because at first them dudes was hitting, they was shooting.
Well, the fact that that's a long time coming, especially if you're an MMA fan like I am,
yeah,
that been coming on all types of scales. People been waiting for this shit for years, and then they had the whole Brock acting like he didn't know who Bobby was, and then I'm like, so I was like, the expectations actually went up a little bit for that, even though I don't have high expectations, and they actually delivered. So actually, shout out to them for real.
Yeah, they started out MMA shooting, because at one point it looked like Bobby did almost get knocked out.
Yeah, I would, if I had to give it an actual rating, I would give it, I guess in those considerations, I would give it just a D, because it could have been so much better.
We're talking about the Rumble itself, or we're talking about the whole Premier Live experience?
The whole Premier Live.
The whole Premier Live experience. I give it a C.
Yeah, I give it a C.
I give it a C.
Yeah, I'm giving it a D.
Because they had moments, and then there was a lot of no moments.
Those moments for me were not enough to carry it up to a C.
Well,
if an F is the bottom,
I came in with F expectations.
I'm giving this like a music or art teacher, not like a math teacher. Like it's not. It got to be this. It's open to interpretation.
I came in with F expectations. You came in with CL came in with like BA expectations. That's why.
I came with
that's the thing. I didn't come with B and A expectations. I came with at least a C. At least a C. That for me, that was good. You should have delivered
on a C.
Nah, they didn't for me.
They
messed up.
We talk about this on Geeked Out all the time. Shout out Geeked Out. Check it out. Sundays we drop. We on the record. Drop them on Mondays. Think about things like this, right? You gotta do a little something extra for yourself. You know what? I went. We was out. We wasn't at home. We wasn't watching this at the home. We was out at a brewery. So we drink it. We on the beers. I went out. I had a little smoke on the joint, and then I came back ready for the rumble. See, you gotta accentuate your experience a little bit, because it's supposed to be a Premier Live experience, and you gotta experience some shit. So I had to go experience for myself to add to the rumble. Because you gotta remember, like again, Rumble is one of my favorite pay-per-views, but Survivor Series used to be my favorite, and they murdered that years ago, as far as I'm concerned. Me and JJ have the argument all the time because he actually likes Raw versus SmackDown. I think it's a farce because they're quarter brand invitationals, all this other shit, like they're not real. Start a feud, you find some people to join the feud with you. Those shits was fire. Survivor Series used to be the best. Royal Rumble had those pops. You had people we never seen again, but these people we keep seeing them again. When we see them, we don't know how long we're gonna see them for. So all that shit had lost a lot of the luster. So
Mhm.
for the fact that they was able to deliver as much as they did, as far as the show goes, with the other matches, I think the other matches complemented the Rumbles because the Rumbles didn't build any stories like they should have. All the story building was through the regular matches. There was no story built in the
Right.
Rumble matches. So that's why I give it to C.
And Villain is saying that he gave it a C, or excuse me, a C plus because of all the big angles. Even though
We
you
don't
were
have
saying
pluses
it
and
was like
minuses
a
in
mile
Florida.
away.
I don't know what that actually means. We don't do that down here. It's straight. We get straight up grades. I'm sorry. I just don't know what that means.
A high C of his standards. I don't know. I just, I couldn't. We've seen so many other pay-per-views in our past that have been so far better. Like the most basic pay-per-view could have been a C. That just wasn't it for me. There was so much disappointment. I was pissed off.
Well, bam. There
And
you
I
go.
was right about everything.
So technically, since we're not doing pay-per-views anymore, this is our second ever Premier Live experience. So it's this or day one, which was better. This is better. So this is the best Premier Live experience you've ever seen. See,
I didn't
It's
watch day one.
That's also true. So bam. So by default, it's also it's the best and the worst you've ever seen. Then
This is true. And now we have Elimination Chamber coming up, which we'll get to in a little bit. But if we're gonna tap into the women's Royal Rumble, because the men's it wasn't.
The women's was better. I hate the end.
it was better, but and it's partially better because we thought they had less to work with because we couldn't name. Again, they brought back a lot of people. And it's funny, we talk about Sarah Logan off camera or on camera, off recording. I seen someone post about all the moms that was in. I think they missed Sarah Logan. Like that's why she that's why she left. It was to go have a kid. She's with Eric from Viking Raiders. So like shout out to all the moms who was in the Rumble. I mean she did, but the reason why she originally left, they fired her while she was gone. I mean, but they did all the time.
Yeah.
People have gotten fired while they were on their honeymoons. These people do not get it. We know this. So
Yep. I completely agree.
Shout out to all the moms in the Rumble. Not Becky,
right.
though.
Now, I did like the fact that which Villain is talking about. And I normally never like Nikki ASH, her character. It bothers me.
Well, she's cursed now. Get rid of Molly Holly like that. She's cursed.
I did like seeing her little feud with Molly Holly. I thought that was spot on. I thought that was perfect. I liked
Bring back Hurricane.
I liked Ivory coming out with her racist. I thought that was awesome. We had Alicia Fox.
That surprised me.
She was on Legends Night last year. I'm surprised they haven't had Legend Night again. Like already. It's coming back. Don't look at me like that. Don't act like we don't know it's coming.
No,
they need a ratings popper. It's coming.
VK said Sabre should have came. If Sabre would have came and so would have wrong, Brock would have fucked everybody up.
Yeah,
I don't think we're ready for. You got to remember the real life implications of certain stuff. Villain, I've been banging this drum the whole time. Chance didn't like it, but if Nikki would have actually been a superhero, I wouldn't have hated this gimmick so much. Right. I promise you. I mean, partially because I'm a comic book nerd, but I mean, so that's probably what it is. But almost a superhero, logically speaking, to my Taurus brain, makes zero sense. It don't. Like, what does that mean? She's never gonna. What does she have? What does she need to overcome to become an actual superhero? Almost like the tag team broke up. All this stuff already happened. What do we?
You had the belt. You had the tag team belt.
She had everything. Like the belt should have been. The belt should have been. Oh, I'm a superhero now. And then if you wasn't at that point, kill a gimmick. It's done.
Right. Yep.
Lily got more attention as a character than Nikki ASH.
And still is. And it's probably selling more merch.
Well, merch shifters mean nothing these days. We talk about it all the time. They let Bray roll. Merch shifters don't mean nothing.
Yo, would you guys have popped if Bo Dallas showed up?
I would have been curious if that would have meant that Bray was gonna show up. I don't know about pop. I've never been a Bo Dallas fan. I like them. I like the Nexus as a whole, and he was a part of that. That's about the extent of Bo Dallas's credentials to me.
In NXT.
He was more than I in that. Okay. I'm gonna use y'all pluses. He was a C plus. There you go.
I wouldn't have popped, but I'd have been like, "Sir, are you at the right show?" Is he
Um,
supposed to be here?
we seen MLW ain't doing too good. So what other show he gonna be at?
Look at VK with the Batman quote.
Facts. Somebody asked us on Twitter. So let's we got Twitter followers and shit talking to us now. Let's address that. So as far as us talking about just AEW, WWE, the indies are coming back. I didn't know PW was coming back as soon as it came back, but PW had this weird thing where all that stuff is certain ways. So when they like Battle of Los Angeles, when that come, you gotta watch it. But at the same time, it's like when's the next show? When's like it's not it don't flow. It's not like Impact had only pay-per-views, but it was a pay-per-view every week. So you like knew what was happening. And PWG not like that. And the MLW's booking has been kind of strange lately, personally to me. So I just want to address people talking about how we only talk about AEW mostly, and today we having a very WWE heavy show. We can't talk about other stuff because let's be honest. Yeah, maybe a little bit of Impact, but against Chance don't like that. Me and
I'm about to say,
don't watch it enough.
VK wants us to talk about Impact.
But
We have to start recording segments to put out there in order to touch on everything.
Again, I tell you, New Japan Strong. I've been trying to get into, but they're booking
this is my thing. All right.
So what we gonna do?
I watched it again with the Bullet Club because I love the Bullet Club.
What?
I love God Impact.
Oh, okay.
The crowd is just horrible.
You know, okay, we didn't need you to rehash that. We understand you. We understand why you're not watching. I'm just telling people that Impact out of all the other companies, Impact's probably the highest probability of one of us watching, right?
No, because what I'm saying is Impact has people that I would want to watch. I would want to watch Jay White, obviously. I would want to watch Bullet Club. I want to watch God. I would watch the Good Brothers. I would watch Big Cass. Obviously, I love Jordan Grace. Like they have people I would watch.
Oh, we might have to talk about that. But since you brought up Jordan Grace, I don't.
I love these people.
I don't like it.
But the crowd makes me want to go.
Wait a second.
I meant Jordan Grace losing the belt to Matt Cardona.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I like Jordan Grace. That's why I don't like her. I like Jordan Grace. I don't like her losing the belt.
Okay.
How you didn't see that coming, Mr.
No, I saw it coming. We could see things coming, and I like it. I saw it coming. I knew she was going to lose the belt soon. And if anybody, I mean, Matt Cardona is one of them. Matt Cardona has a weird thing where he's a heel in GCW, a babyface in Impact. Well, I don't think he's a babyface anymore. I think he's going full heel now. And he was a heel when he was briefly on AEW. So he had that thing going where he was, different faces on different crowds. So
I need to be entertained, VK.
I kind of understand VK because WWE did get me into the habit of being able to turn off the commentary because like y'all spewing just Vince shit on this. Well, mostly Raw. The SmackDown, I gave a little chance for a long time, even though when they had Corey, I ain't like Corey, but still. Like,
let me respond to this man. All right, Impact has me feeling like I'm watching Thunderdome. That's what it feels like. I'm watching a show with nothing.
We might have to do a watch along or something. I think that if we the commentators, I think it might be better for you. That's the best I can give you because ain't nobody else doing anything else with Impact. So
this is true. This is true. Look, we gotta convert them.
Ring of Honor had fire commentary.
You know why VK is lying to me? VK is lying to me. You know why? Because he went to the show with Didn't you go to the show with what's his face? My man Goldie. I don't know his real name. They went to the AEW John, right?
All three of us went. Technically, we just in different sections.
So then you can contest to this. Goldie told me it was boring as fuck because of the crowd.
It depends on where you sit. My section was hyped as shit, but I was on the floor next to the ring.
That's what I'm saying. So crowds make a difference, correct?
Well, that's definitely true because the two AEW shows I went to, the first show was like our section was lit, but when I went back and watched it, but before we recorded the next day,
right? He said it was mid,
and it was like whoa, it was like that shit didn't come across to the TV screen. But the second time it came to Miami, the whole crowd was.
So this is my point.
And it came through the screen.
This is my point.
See, but I'm not there for the crowd. I'm there for.
But it does affect the show, CL. Like Chance right on this one.
This is my point.
It affects the show. It might not make or break it, but it affects it.
Let me continue, please. So, listen to my example. If I've never watched AEW, I've never watched Impact, and you tell me your chance, just watch AEW real quick. Watch Dynamite. All right, cool. I'll watch it. That crowd is gonna have me lit. Like, oh, okay, so it's popping over here. You tell me go watch Impact. Nothing's happening. It's not popping for me. So I'm going back to AEW. I'm not watching Impact no more.
Now, he is right. Compared to the show that was after ours, right. Our show wasn't as good as the next shows like a week after. When we looked at it on TV, because our show, it wasn't in comparison, it wasn't. And we sat for all three shows for Evolution, for Dynamite, for Rampage. And then next week we're like, well, what the fuck? Like, how come they got that? But I also think it was because we were caught in the middle of coming off of the Battle of the Belts. And then them, so not every show is gonna be perfect.
I did say the same thing about that first Miami show because we were the first show on the road. That was the first time we went back on the road. Crowd thing, different crowds. And Miami's not a wrestling crowd.
I don't think y'all appreciate my analogy.
No, you on point with. I agreed with you, man. I told you,
don't like something, and you show me something that no one's doing anything and is boring. What's gonna make me like it?
So this where AEW hits that in between, because this problem we see it on WWE a little bit, you see it on Impact. The part what you don't see on the indies is you can't like hype up the crowd as much. Like the crowd has to know the cues basically by themselves. Like you gotta have like basically you have to have like the certain type of fans in the building, enough of them to where they are starting to chant all that. Like because when you go back and watch the Ring of Honor match, and like if it's Daniel Bryan in there or if it's Seth in there as Tyler Black, they are when the crowd seems to be like not into it as much, they know it, they feel it, they get the crowd back into. You can't do that on an Impact or WWE because it's the way the production is, the way the TV is. You got certain AEW to a certain point. You got a certain amount of time. You can't be like, oh, the crowd's not into it, let's get them into it, let's do this.
And WWE,
you can't do that. You can't
use this voiceover crowds anyway.
So that's also
on the TV settings. So that's kind of an unfair thing. Also,
they definitely like when I want to say Roman's first run, they was pumping in the cheers when there was hella booze.
Facts.
Ronda's promo where she said the best fights are with me, you can clearly hear that it's pipe.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir. But they've been enough ever.
Said that's what? Not new.
Yeah, the best matches are with her.
She's the best bout machine, which is Kenny Omega. Actual thing.
Oh Lord, listen.
They threw me for a swerve last night.
You know, it was funny. Before I knew you, I didn't think y'all would be down as much on Ronda as y'all are. Like especially Chance.
I never liked her.
I know that now, but I'm saying as much as you like Brock, a lot of people just make that connection like equal, which I don't.
Because Brock is worth it.
I mean, Brock also had that first WWE run to inform us of everything he can do. Ronda just came in wrecking shit, hating the shit, and catching heat.
Ronda came in. She thought everyone was gonna love her. She did the same thing she did in UCF or UFC. I always said UCF because I'm in Florida. But she came in. She said she thought everyone was gonna love her, so she was all hey. Once she saw that wrestling fans are toxic, which we do have those shirts, so you can get some in the merch store. Then she just started shitting on the fans, and then left.
Oh wait, I got to combat something that Villain just said about the New Japan crowds. Maybe the smaller shows he might be right about that, but for the most part, the thing about New Japan is the way those matches are built. It's a slow build up. You're not supposed to be cheering the whole time. They like when they build a show. They don't come out with like AEW come out with the banger the first show, the first thing, and it's, WWE does that now a little bit because Roman said I gotta be first or last. I'm not going in between because people don't give a shit about that, which WWE has ingrained into us. So with New Japan, it's like, oh, this first match, I mean, you're get in your chair. Second match is okay, got some stuff going on. Third match, main event. That's when you need to be cheering. Like if you watch, like you watching for the main events. Like you're not watching like it's like boxing and UFC in a sense. Like those undercards, the purists gonna watch, but they don't really care if you don't like it that much because these people you're gonna see eventually, and you're gonna learn to like them later. That's how New Japan does it. It's like a sporting event compared to WWE and AEW, which has some sports influences, but they know we got to keep the crowd in the whole time, or at least that's the goal. New Japan not caring for that as much, which is not what Impact is doing. Impact just the crowd just dead. To Chance's point.
VK, I don't know how much stock you have in Impact, but
hey, we're getting dividend checks.
But I watched Bound for Glory, and that shit was dead.
Is that the one we watched together?
I don't remember, but I know it
wasn't dead. It wasn't dead.
I was
hyping it up.
Bound for Glory is their WrestleMania, isn't it? I can never remember what's their WrestleMania.
I think so.
I think it's bound for glory if it's not Slammiversary.
I'm telling you, I want to watch the shows. I want to be like, oh shit, Vic has the oh shit, but I just can't.
You have to go in with an open mindset. You have to open your mind. Maybe you got to smoke a little bit before you watch it. Open your mind.
Maybe.
Just soak it in.
See, Villain doing the same thing I was talking about. Again, that first Miami show in my section, it felt like we was alive. I noticed that some sections wasn't as good as ours, but I thought, generally speaking, because the way you hear noise is just how it works, especially in that auditorium setting. But then maybe when you're sitting in there, it don't feel as dead. But then you watch it on TV, that impact, it is. Like I can't argue with Chance on that. That shit, the crowds ain't doing it for me. But that's not the real. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I watch wrestling on silent now, so I think I got a little bit. I'm a little bit. I can watch it a little bit, but
damn, watching it on silent.
I mean, can y'all let's remember the first AEW pandemic show. That shit was a tough watch, but I got through it because
are you talking like when Matt debuted and shit?
Oh my god,
that shit was horrible.
It was. Now you know what?
It wasn't the best booking, and the crowd was dead.
It took me a while to be consistent with AEW. I didn't jump right on the bandwagon. It definitely took me a while. Even after going to one of their live shows, it took me a minute to build up for that. And it wasn't even the crowd, because at the time, the crowd was extremely supportive because you were on anticipation to see who was going to show up, who was going to be there. So the crowd might have been a little bit more rowdy than what it is now, but when I'm watching wrestling, see, I have to look at the storylines. It has to make sense. And at that point in time, they weren't in the solid stages yet for everything to have made sense because they were so new. Everything was still building. So I couldn't mess with it. Now we're golden. I watch it. It's beautiful.
Villain has a point. Don't watch Impact expecting AEW.
Yeah,
I can say that about every wrestling show. They're all different. PWG. PWG's basically PWG and Ring of Honor. Like those are the only two things I think of. If you think of like obviously every big name indie and all the big name companies, even Dragon Gate, all those. If you look at them, none of them are the same. The closest two that comes to being like each other is Ring of Honor and PWG. So maybe you can go into those two with the same expectations, but basically everything else you have to filter your expectations because you're not watching AEW expecting sports entertainment. And again, we could talk about sports entertainment being as bad as we want all the time, but there's definitely some stuff that's sports entertainment that we still like, that certain people still like. Like I ain't with the spelling bee shit, but some people are.
Oh my god, they got a scooter race.
Oh yeah, that I seen that shit and it's funny they like, but you know what? That doesn't surprise. It doesn't surprise me at all because remember, did we forget the Viking? This is when I was watching Raw. Viking Raiders versus Street Profits.
I don't like fucking Viking Raiders.
That's not the point. That's not the point we're talking about. It was what 8 or 9 weeks leading up to a pay-per-view. By the way, they played basketball, they played golf, so they threw axes, they bowling. They did that for like 9 weeks, and then in the pay-per-view had a match, none of which was inside the ring, and then all ran away because of an alligator in a dumpster. Let's not forget. We got to remember what we're talking about here.
See, that's why my opinions are just so different. Even going back
live, like no one was paying me for that live.
Well, even going back to what you were saying about like with Rhonda, I was not a Rhonda fan when she first came over. I didn't have high expectations. I did at least hope for the best, but I was very much anti-Rhonda. And then I saw her in the ring, and of course, her first match is unfair because she was carried, obviously, and it's not like she was going against anybody great. She had Triple H and Stephanie.
I actually like that match.
I think what's funny. Here's why I think they dropped the ball with that. If you want to think about it, real life stories and all that stuff, first of all, they should have made Stephanie. I mean, they already made Steph and Triple H the heels in that case, which was correct. But they didn't bring the right Ronda because if you think about it, Ronda had her, she had her dominance, but then she lost, and then she had this whole big thing where she really she has the suicide thing going on, things in her family going on. Like she was in, like if you would have made her babyface that you could get behind and be endearing and caring about, that would work. But they came back and tried to bring her in as a straight killer Brock, but also be a babyface when killers are usually heels. We know that. So I think that's where the problem was with that.
Everything is the problem, right, and then seeing her in the ring.
Also facts.
Seeing her in the ring last Saturday, it was just like, I understand, ma'am, that you just had a baby. I'm not taking that away from you, but all WWE did was polish her. She's shit. She's a turd. They polished her and they put her on a pedestal, but not for real, because of the fact that if they wanted to sell on the fact that she's from UFC, Shayna Baszler would be in a different position. That's not the fact. They want to sell her as her name because she's a cash cow.
They literally had a whole stable down at NXT, and they did nothing with any of them.
Exactly.
Y'all know Vince hates Shayna.
I mean, y'all remember, Vince didn't like Ronda either, so that doesn't tell me shit. When this is reports, obviously I don't know him personally, but when they were showing, they didn't even show him Ronda. They were talking about like UFC, and he's like, women are in MMA, and no, that's not real. He literally said that's not real. That can't be. Then they showed him, and he's like, what's this? They showed him some more. He's like, I need her, get her. So, if maybe we could say if they had shown him a Shayna Baszler instead first, we could have this conversation about Shayna Baszler instead of Ronda Rousey. This would have happened no matter who it was. This is not a person problem. So, like, this would have been a problem regardless. They could have done it with Sonya Deville, who has an MMA background. They could have done this with anybody. If they would have done it this way, this would have happened. It was bringing this cash cow from this other sport that I barely know anything about, that I'm not going to use anything from. That's what the problem is. Well, one of the 7,000 problems.
That Sonya Deville Naomi storyline is so horrible to me.
I mean, it had so much potential. So much.
Any storyline that Naomi has been in for the last 5 years basically has been almost terrible.
I mean, the Sonya Mandy Rose feud could have been good. Easily. They just, first of all, didn't even finish that. They turned Otis into a whole other person completely. There's just everything going on.
They do this all the time. Like, my best friend, he says this. Like, they do storylines just to eventually cancel them and just forget about it. It never happened.
Yeah,
they'll change it to something completely different.
And never remember that they happened. And don't build on a later feud at all. Not your breakfast.
Specifically,
they're in the morning.
They are Spider-Man pancakes.
I'm deceased. Shout out yet again.
You dope.
Just saying.
So yeah, that's the thing. I think we need to get to a point where, again, I keep saying believe the wrestlers, not WWE. We got to get to a point where we like try to give the wrestlers as much credit as we can for what they do, and check what's we got. Have our antennas up and see what's a wrestler and what's WWE, because if a wrestler's doing something wrong, it's something we should be able to see too. I don't want to give a wrestler credit when they're being just as crap as WWE's being. Well, we gotta if you switch and choose, put certain people in certain positions, it wouldn't make a difference. Like Brock could have been the Intercontinental Champion, and if they would have given him the run they give in Shinsuke, which I mean basically what they're doing anyway, because he's not defending it at all. I mean, we would have the same conversation. It's not even about who it is anymore. Because like I used to say, WWE, shout out, WWE's biggest thing we could talk about, because if we go like that Attitude Era stuff that I've been going back and looking at, because I'm getting ready for them reviews that we said we're gonna do. The in the ring ain't clean all the time, but we damn sure was never turning it off because they had characters. None of these people haven't much time invested in them, even though Raw is 3 hours long, that they're characters. That's what it is. Like Sonya could be a badass. Naomi could be a great hero. Mandy could be all types of different things. Like, it doesn't even matter how good they are in the ring. And these people are talented in the ring. So it's like, I agree with I could be honest with that. Current, like, if we talk about like last 3 months, I 100% agree. Last 4 months, 5 months, that first year AEW was gas.
Because it was new.
It wasn't just because it was because all the things how they were getting it right.
Yo, everybody's first album is better.
You've made this argument before, and I've seen you make it on a show before. I really knew you, and Nas holds that up better than anybody else. But I don't think that's always true. I don't have an example off the top of my head because I've been smoking that I could think of. Oh, second album better than the first album, but that's not always true. And again, that music is hard to build off of. Wrestling shouldn't be. We got 60 years of experience to go look back on.
AWK, you know how much excitement there was because you're like, oh shit, it's Cody, it's the Young Bucks, it's Kenny Omega. Oh shit, it's Adam Page. Boom, boom, boom. What are they gonna do? Are they gonna be WWE?
You're right. What's one of the biggest credits that we got with AEW? It reminds us of the old school indies in the sense that like these dudes could be one thing one way, they could be another thing another way, and they were doing that. They can't do it. They can't do it as much because now they got so many people coming in from.
You're never gonna get that feeling.
Big names, yeah, mostly because a lot of big names. Every time a free agents lose, they're like, oh, AEW, that luster is lost.
That's what I'm saying. So you can't get that back. So obviously the first is gonna be better. So that,
but the booking was also better. We talk about Hangman's
It
Ring.
still is.
I love what's going on now.
But we can talk about Hangman Run 1,000 times.
Not everybody's gonna be fired now.
You're right, but John Moxley's run was undeniable. He not new. But that's because the booking was also on point.
That's why.
Hey.
All right, so let me ask y'all.
Hold on. For the point I just made. All right, go ahead.
So with Shane's recent bookings, producings, all that stuff. Let's start here. Do you think, first question, do you think that he should be fired? Did you think that he should have been fired?
I don't even think he was fired. I think they're just doing that for storyline.
Yeah.
Hey, we doing the CL now?
I don't think you.
Wait, actually, Chance, thank you for reminding me. CL, are you still gonna hold on to your thoughts that the Ali storyline is a storyline and not real? Because this shit real as fuck. There's got to be. There's no way this is a storyline. Second of all, they haven't built on it, so it can't be a storyline.
You know what? It will be the first of his kind, but we are in WrestleMania season. So as of right now, I am still going to feel like it is work until.
What is CL doing, bro?
I don't know.
But
I'm just saying.
What's in those pancakes? What type of syrup that is? There's no
love.
Way. There's
because
no
I don't know
way.
who said it. It might have been you, Kenny. I don't even think Shane was signed.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Vince don't fuck with Shane.
He don't fuck with him at all.
It doesn't look like a fire. So it looks like, look, Daddy, this is what I want to do. No, okay, cool. See you later.
Shane just going on another, Shane adventure, bro.
Another Shane adventure.
He's gone on like 3 now.
Yeah, Shane is on that shit where my daddy don't love me. What am I gonna do?
Like hey, you can talk about them all you want. Them tweets where he tell everybody else happy birthday and then the one Shane get. Yo, I don't care if somebody else writing them for him. I don't care. Shane could get one too. Goddamn.
He'll get one, but it's just happy birthday, Shane. It's just so simple.
I mean, getting a Roman Reigns paragraph.
Oh yeah, he don't get those.
A Becky Lynch paragraph, like Charlotte. They get great happy birthdays from Vince's Twitter.
Sure do.
Shane,
I bet you right now.
Happy birthday, Shane. Stephanie get a great one. It's my daughter, all this. Happy birthday, Shane. This, goddamn.
Yeah. Yeah.
If Shane went to AEW, like VK said, like it would have to be like as an investor or something behind the scenes. Like I don't want to really see him on TV. Maybe at first for a pop.
Villain, don't get Chance started with Jeff Jarrett, please.
Please. He
said Shane gonna link up with Jeff Jarrett.
Nobody wants Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett company didn't want Jeff Jarrett. So please no.
You know what? I would love to see Shane, and I normally don't want to see shit like this, but I would love to see Shane pull up at AEW only for the strength of the fact that before when we saw it, it was scripted, right? That was a storyline.
As the pop, yeah.
Right. But this would be like real life shit. But I want him to, but the difference is I want him to mention nothing about his father. Like, this man could be a complete douchebag and drop the McMahon name and just be Shane. Like, nah, I have no relations. Who is that?
So, Kenny, you bugging. That would break the internet.
It would break me.
Yo, it would be it would break you. No, it would be fantastic though. Because it would be
Yo,
genuine.
they do the Casino Royale or whatever they call it, the casino something.
If it's a quick pop, okay, but I don't want to see him more than a show.
So they do their double up version of here.
Because if I gotta see Shane and I do that little jump rope skip thing one more time.
First of all, that's my shit. That's my
What?
shit.
Yeah,
That's my shit. Okay.
See how you and my girlfriend could be friends for real.
Me and Shane be like, ah.
That shit is fire.
Y'all treat it like the Jeff entrance. No, I refuse.
No, that is fire. Shane does have a good entrance.
Yo,
Because
he does.
The song fire, but I bump his song. Skip and his punches, I hate him all the time.
Oh, come on.
Every time Shane do the spot where he do the
that's what you gotta do. You gotta drink some beers.
Clearly, I gotta drink some more. I already do that when I watch wrestling. I'm gonna need some extra, some strong, some whatever doing that to your nose for that show. That's what we gonna need to do.
So what's the thing? Was it double up?
Yeah.
Son, if double up, we give Jeff Hardy and Shane McMahon, my dude.
Double
or
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, double or nothing.
If we get that, Jeff Hardy and Shane,
then it'll stick to what I was saying. Same thing I was saying about Jeff and Matt. One more show, don't gotta see you again. I appreciate you.
No, I just need what I said, and then you said I just need Darby and Jeff. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. I don't need Jeff to stick around for no
super ladder match, like all you doing.
Contract, like for what? Like,
yeah, I don't.
What
need
about?
I need you to give me an 8-year run.
Hold on, I'm trying to look to see. Okay, so Double or Nothing is supposed to be in May, give or take. So it's coming up. So we have some time to see what's going to happen, I guess. Do you think that's when Keith Lee will pop up?
I see Keith Lee in Impact.
Yeah, Keith Lee got to go to Impact. I think him and Karrion Kross might need to finish their story from NXT on Impact. I think that's how we gonna get a chance to watch Impact. Because that
maybe
that NXT run was fire. And by that time, NXT wasn't doing a whole lot good.
I think I figured out. When you guys say bullshit is when I sneeze.
Yeah, okay. Put that mask back on. Because that was one of the last dying embers of NXT was Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross. Obviously, Karrion Kross getting injured fucked that up a little bit too. But I think if we could do something like that, Impact might have a customer, and without a customer, I ain't paying for it. But I might be using Access TV or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like it's no hate, but if I see Keith Lee on AEW, I really don't care.
Really?
I think they'd have to build him back up. I'm not saying I wouldn't care. I wouldn't take it as far as a chance, but they'd have to build him back up because I think it's been a long time.
A massive heel, like a Miro, like rebrand type thing.
Again, like some people really like Keith Lee promos. I never did. I don't like the cadence of Triple H, but some people do like it because some people like Triple H promos.
The one thing that WWE does really well is when a talent is out the door, like they bury the shit out of them and make me not give a shit about them. I don't, because we've had this argument. I don't care about Cesaro. I don't care about Kevin Owens. I don't care about Sami Zayn.
And this is where we always differ. I think you just listed like people I think are all fire, just being missing.
Right.
But they've been buried so much, like I don't give a shit to see them.
Yes, Cesaro legit. Like there was a point if you saw Cesaro on TV, it meant he was losing. Like for like really like glorified jobber status. But but in the ring we know he could go, so it was a shame. Like basically everything after the bar for Cesaro has been downhill besides the one pay-per-view with Roman. So it's like, but
ever since he got his teeth pushed in.
But again, we talk about like you should be able to rebuild. It's not building stars is great, but you gotta also be able to rebuild. Part of the problem with WWE is they can't rebuild because they've rebuilt everyone so many times. But AEW doesn't have that problem. So if you're gonna bring a guy in, especially a guy who's not been on you at all, it's just one rebuild. I don't see why it can't work. But as far as like looking forward to it, I mean, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, I might catch him on Impact. Like I said, shit, I would might catch him on New Japan Strong. I feel like he could fit that style. Strong ass. There's some
now. Thank you for mentioning New Japan. I did see something earlier where Chance, you shared it in the group chat, and then I went to Twitter to go look at it with Tony Khan, where he's talking about the Forbidden Door. Now, I was scrolling through the comments and I happened to look at a particular person that commented up there and was kind of like, hey, look at me. I can go through that door.
Who that was?
TJP.
Oh my god.
And then I was like, wait,
I almost
where
logged
is
off.
he? He's in New Japan.
Didn't he get accused of some girl, young girl?
I think he was on the list.
Was he?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I'm cool on that.
Chance, you all right? You got the suds?
I told you, man. Whenever we record, it's just like. What
He
is
got
it?
the
Well, I mean,
suds.
looking it up, he tied up in a lot. I mean, it looked like he hasn't been on Impact since he was released in November. But he's been on New Japan, MLW, and Lucha Libre. I think he got enough going on. I think he can stay where he at. He got a lot going on. I don't know about I don't know if he was named in Speaking Out, but so many people was that my brain doesn't remember who was and who wasn't, besides the people who never worked again, basically. So
That penis guy was
Val Venus?
No, I know.
You say penis, and I think Val Venus. He got his dick chopped off. I'm never gonna forget that. I was a child.
No, his finisher was making people grab his penis.
What?
What's his name?
That was a what?
Joey Ryan, is that his name?
Something like that. I think so.
That's no, bro. I'm not even gonna look into that.
But he even did it. He even did it on the show with a chick.
Yeah, where were you in this era of wrestling? Like a year and a half ago.
It must have just like slid across my screen, bro.
Yes, he's Joey Ryan.
Yes, okay, I was right. It was Joey Ryan.
But then we did touch on MLW when we talked about just watching impacting them. MLW is a major booking disappointment. They got people down there that could work.
It is after Hammerstone cut his hair.
I'm glad somebody called my son's joke.
I caught it, but I was just.
Ooh, he said it wasn't funny though. We said
no, it's not that. It's just I'm still so astounded by this whole Joey Ryan. Yeah, I'm glad I missed it. I'm not gonna look for it either.
Oh, don't worry, it's about to come to you because I'm about to send it right to your phone.
That's okay. You could not do that.
That era of Twitter. I was just like,
Kenny, all you gotta do is like yesterday, ignore it.
I ain't ignoring anything.
Niggas be putting me on the silent.
When Rampage come on, because I don't watch it live, so I'll be
facts. I don't watch it.
Caught that joint this morning.
I ain't gonna lie, Ruby looked bad against Nyla Rose.
Oh yeah, you did mention the botches. Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great.
Yo, Joey Ryan really went ahead and lived like a normal life. He don't even look like a wrestler no more.
One dude went on to live a normal life. Who's that one dude that was in AEW with the black hair, eyeliner?
You gotta give me a little bit more than that, G. I got nothing.
I can't remember. He was early AEW. I know that.
Oh, you talking about who just left?
Early AEW.
But they just left. You talking about what's Pete Avalon?
No, not him. What you said, Tia?
Talking about Brian Kendrick?
Nope.
Nah, he just got canceled off the show.
Yeah, I was confused by that because I was like, wait, he just got taken out the show. Why are y'all talking about he got fired? He didn't get fired.
He was
shout out my iPhone 13 Pro Max.
He wasn't hired. He can't be fired. He was an all elite.
Jimmy something, I think.
Not ringing any bells. Yeah, with a gimmick like that, you can only assume what type of person he is. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Jimmy Havoc.
Oh, Jimmy Havoc. What did happen to him?
Oh, okay.
He got accused of something with a girl or something.
I mean, all these accusations and shit, let me be the first to say, unpopular opinion. I hate accusations when it comes to any type of sexual assault because everybody just jumps on a bandwagon and people say it because it's the easiest thing to say because it's literally my word against yours. So people do it with such just like bad intentions that it's hard to believe when people that genuinely have gone through something is telling the truth. It's hard to believe them. Like the whole thing with Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream, people fucking
You can
Yeah,
joyride.
that's literally the pay. The
Just out
picture I
there,
looked
just out
at.
there living a normal life.
No,
Uh-huh.
I definitely think any person who accused somebody of sexual assault when it didn't happen is almost as much a scumbag as any person who actually does sexual assault. That is terrible.
Right.
People's lives have been ruined and on all types of different things. And I mean, if you want to talk about historical shit, that's like that's one of the biggest ways white people used to kill black people. Like, oh, he raped a white woman, now he fucking gotta die, even with no fucking proof. So obviously there's some negative connotations there. I'm just really big on believing victims. So obviously it's your word against mine, but a lot of these guys they got some evidence behind them. So like if it because a lot of speaking out, it wasn't just this one person accused, and like the people who are not working no more, like Jimmy Havoc, other wrestlers backed it up. It wasn't just this might have happened. Jimmy Havoc ain't working because other people was like, yo, yeah, this definitely scans like a Joey Ryan. That would definitely scan. Like I wouldn't question that. Because if that's
Velveteen Dream ain't working no more, but we had no solid proof on that.
I didn't speak on
No,
that.
that man, he had a picture.
Because if you like think about Riddle. Riddle said straight up. I mean, this is what he said. He's like, yeah, we had sex. I cheated on my wife, but I didn't assault her, and that's why people don't give Riddle no shit.
Yep.
Even though that's technically still your word against mine. Like, he still could have assaulted her, but because of him getting in front of it, I guess you could say, which he really didn't, because that was like 6 months after he'd been accused that he said that shit. But I mean, it's perspective, I guess. It's like, if you willing to be like, just we don't know, so I'm gonna ignore it, whatever. Like Chance always said, how you don't listen to R. Kelly at all anymore because there's basically no refuting that shit. But with these situations, it's like we don't know, and how comfortable are you with what?
Y'all stop listening to R. Kelly?
Chance does. I mean, I never particularly like listen to R. Kelly that much anyway.
Because I don't know, are the songs talking about a 13-year-old?
Yeah, that is also true. That's how I feel. Like very much so. It's like
I don't want to be talking about.
He definitely talking about a child right now, and I definitely ain't with the shits. So, but I'm still gonna step in the name of love if it came up at the cookout.
That's what I'm saying. I never stopped listening to R. Kelly.
But I'm saying, but my point is, like, it's not like I mean, I ain't spending my days listening to I believe I can fly. That's not the type of person I am. So,
no, I like all the raunchy shit he did. But what am I listening to?
Cookie Jar is still my shit, so I still bump R. Kelly faithfully.
Oh, you about to get me too out of here.
Listen. I don't give two flying fucks. Well, you don't want my opinion on that because the parents were just as wrong. They should have got arrested for sex trafficking because they sold contracts for those girls. So therefore, I don't give two fucking shits. I'll say it. I don't give a damn.
That's a strong two wrongs don't make a right on that one.
I want you guys to know that every opinion that's stated by the individual is from the individual.
Look, I don't give a damn.
CL's comments do not reflect the views of Wrestling Behind the Curtain.
Correct. Or Geeked Out. Or
Facto.
Whatever. I said it. I don't care.
Should we reach that Chantelleco?
That's like when people say there's no such thing as a bad kid, there's only bad parents. No. There's also bad kids. I know people who had terrible parents who still ended up fine. Like you it could be both.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the free agents real quick. We haven't got there.
Yes.
We said Keith Lee probably go to Impact, Cross probably Impact. Ember Moon, I think, is still gonna go to AEW, especially because she's
she getting ready for a WWE return. You didn't see that fucking tweet?
I didn't see it. Oh yeah, about how
there was no need to say thank you now. What's she saying thank you now for? Is it because it might have been because people asked why she was in the Rumble? Maybe something like that. I don't know the full context, but she it looks geared up for a return. That's
because she's fighting Thunder Rosa somewhere else, which is why I thought she was going to interfere in the match yesterday.
Let me go look at her.
When AEW uses other company storylines, it's the other company does it like you could see it built a little bit more beforehand. It doesn't just happen. Like Layla Hurts versus Camille from NWA. Camille came on AEW, didn't do anything else, and then the match was on NWA. So it's. I think
Ember Moon's tweet was basically just saying that she has no reason to be mad at WWE because she wouldn't have nowhere else to be if it wasn't for them.
Yeah, no, I remember what she said. It's just I don't know the context.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Did somebody ask or did she just?
Yeah, it was basically because of the Royal Rumble. I was telling Sia because she hadn't seen it.
Yeah, maybe her stuff wasn't thrown in the trash in a bag. I mean, some people's was, and they still came back. So
I mean, technically, Ember Moon is doing the right politics. She's not burning bridges, so in case it doesn't pan out well for her on the signing, she can go back.
Oh yeah, she definitely ain't going back. She got a Twitch now and everything. She ain't going back. You know
Yeah,
you can't have Twitch with them.
you can on NXT. You can't on the main roster.
That's stupid.
Because remember, Cole had his Twitch the whole time.
But he's also cool.
Yeah, but the thing is that he couldn't use it anymore. That's why I was talking about with the new contract. That's why part of the reason why he didn't resign. Because
NWA.
Because what you gonna call it? What's her name? Zelina Vega Twitch is still alive. She just doesn't use it. Obviously, Black uses it. Because you can't take
right.
No disrespect, but I don't take NWA serious.
NWA.
I like NWA.
It's got its moments. It's not a good top to bottom show, but it has its moments. I check it every once in a while. I like Camille. She's fucking gigantic and a killer.
I felt like Mickey James' husband settled. He could have went somewhere else and been fired.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you could say that for sure, but I mean,
not everybody needs
some
to
people
be.
Some people like being a big fish in a small pond.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
I think it works for him.
Is all you really want. You don't care how big the water. If you're gonna be a big now, if you're a big fish in a little pond, you think you're gonna be a big fish in a big pond too. That's different. But maybe he didn't think that. That's not what he thought was gonna happen. So he just settled for what he got.
BK, why do you think Keith Lee's going to AEW?
I would love to see that. I don't know. I hear what y'all say, but I would love to see Keefington Lee.
Why?
In AEW.
I got no problem with the Limitless one. It's not something I require to happen. Is what I'm saying.
Maybe if they want to make that TNT belt more fire, I guess he can go down there.
And I wouldn't be opposed. Like if he showed up at Impact, I wouldn't be disappointed. I would be content if he showed up either at Impact or at AEW. But my concern is he looking at him and Mia as a package deal? Or is he looking at it just like him? I think Mia could have some influence because if Mia goes back to Impact,
or she had a pretty strong run,
right? Then maybe Keith might go there as well. So I don't know. It's really up in air. I'm not sure if it will matter if they're like, okay, listen, like you're here, I'm here, let's be here together. But I don't know.
He is a PWG stalwart, and AEW do got a lot of PWG guys, but a lot of PWG guys, there are a lot of guys like Joey Janela is a GCW, PWG, he on all types of stuff. So I mean, a lot of these guys, when you're on the super indies, you really a super indie for real. It depends. I mean, you can look at it both ways, but again, if he goes, I'll be pleasantly pleased. I'll appreciate it.
Barring that he stays in the healthy space that he's in, I would trade mostly all the big people for big cats in AEW.
When you say mostly all the big people, see this is your Brian Cage hate coming out.
Brian Cage.
I ain't trading Hobbs for big cats.
Oh, Hobbs could go.
Nah.
What?
Nah, I don't like it. I don't. No, sir.
You can go, sir.
Hobbs is stiff too.
Nah, I don't like it.
I can't.
Mans can move.
You're killing me, Smalls. Hobbs could say where he's at. He's not even on the table to be moved off.
Okay.
So pick someone else.
He's still. Wait, you trade Wardlow for big cats?
Oh, okay, not Wardlow, no.
Okay. All right.
No, Wardlow
we still tape. See, that's the thing. Hobbs had a little table dressing with Darby at first, and then they cooled on that. Wardlow getting a little table dressing, but they're gonna cool on that too because they're not ready for him versus MJF yet. So you got like,
I don't know how true it is, but I heard the Briscoes
or do a Villain Killer said and watch Big Cats on Impact. I believe that's a strong
exactly.
I like the Briscoes, but I don't know if it's true. But they said that they had said some racist shit.
Did they? Let me see. Let me see.
But I do like the Briscoes.
I thought the Briscoes were already coming. I think that's what that last Ring of Honor show kind of was trying to show us, but it hasn't happened yet. So I don't know.
Yeah, the most up-to-date thing that I did see was that they're supposed to be coming.
Whoa, Briscoes versus Daniel Bryan and Mox. Oh, that'd go crazy.
Yeah, that would go crazy.
That gets me excited. What's those brothers from that family that I can't think of?
The Briscoes.
No.
Lance Archer
The
was not mid on New Japan. Mid on everything else, I'll agree. But New Japan, he was fire. Great killer.
this is gonna bother me.
You know who I wish was popping now, but they're old, so it doesn't matter.
No.
Was it the motor gun? What's it? Machine motor gun people? Chris Sabin and
Oh, I know you're talking about. It's Machine Gun, something like that. What the
motor
fuck?
gun machines or something like that.
Some shit. Can't remember right now.
They used to be so fire in Impact.
Yo, Villain Killer is hilarious. This man said Briscoes busted open on their knees, ready to blow Tony for a job. That's wild.
I mean, they do got a good
I
gimmick.
cannot. Oh my god, this is gonna kill me. And Kenny, you know who the hell I'm talking about because we watched
Motor
the,
City Machine Guns. There you go.
Motor City Machine Guns. I know Machine Gun sounds.
They used to be fire.
They are old, even by wrestling standards. Hey, we didn't talk about this. Oh, we were talking about the Rumble. We talked about old, so it's reminded me. A lot of people was like, I said it from the jump. A lot of people talking about how Undertaker was gonna be backstage, and I was like, no, duh, because his wife's in the Rumble. Michelle McCool. It's not. Were y'all disappointed or have any expectations for Undertaker to be in the Rumble? Because we didn't talk about that pre-show. Because that was like right after we recorded that came out.
Nah, I had no.
People was mad hot that he didn't come out. I was like, this man has he's done enough.
What was he gonna do?
I think I would have been more mad if he did.
Yeah, he would have broke a hip.
Oh my god!
It's like, nah, I'm straight. I'm completely straight. I did not need to see him do anything.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
The fact that he was backstage was enough for me.
I mean, again,
that was it.
His wife was wrestling. That's about the whole reason to be there. So that's it.
That's it.
I don't know why people was mad. I was mad. I was mad, confused as to why they was mad.
Well, I'm looking at a pre-production meeting. We seem to have got all the topics, so I got something else.
I think she had one more thing. This thing's still bothering her. I'm gonna let her get that off before we get out of here.
What I do?
The person you're trying to
the tag team that their family.
I'm still looking for it, and I can't even find it, and I'm disappointed. I'm so mad because we watched
Give me a promotion song.
Okay, remember we was watching Dark Side of the Ring, and it was like that family that had like all the wrestling tragedy, like the brothers.
You talking about I know you're talking about
the Von Erichs.
The Von Erichs.
Yes, thank you. Jesus Christ, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Well, isn't one of the Von Erichs now not actually a Von Erich? They're just using the gimmick because they had like permission or some shit. I don't know why I mean, with that tragic story, I don't know if that's why you would cling on to that family. I understand they have a wrestling legacy, but come on, Jesus.
Is that what he's doing?
I think he like really looks like them, which just means he's blonde hair, blue eyes. But I think the people are like, oh, you really look like them, so he took the gimmick and ran with it, and he got permission and all that. But I don't think he's actually a Von Erich. I think the Von Erichs are literally like all like dead now.
Man,
not the one at MLW.
Let me see.
It says that he's the son of Kevin Von Erich and the grandson of Fritz Von Erich.
Oh, I think I need them. Okay, yeah. Come on. This guy's name.
VK said that was in the 80s. Okay. Apparently, we got to wrap it up because Mr. Suds man over there needs to go get some medicine because he is now pale and lost all color.
He's the same color as the stuff that was going up his nose.
Come on, don't do that narrative.
As he continues to sneeze, maybe you need to go take a rapid test.
Nah, see, I mean, it's because you sneeze and I let it slide. Now, if you started bleeding, I would know it was really good.
Oh man.
No, I have bad allergies.
Yeah, allergies.
Oh yeah. Okay, so there was a fake Von Erich, but the 3 Von Erichs now are all actually third generation. I just looked at it.
Okay, yeah. Oh dang! One of them just tested positive for COVID. So they won't even be at the MLW Blood and Thunder.
I'm surprised they're allowed to use Blood and Thunder as a pay-per-view name.
Ooh, I gotta go.
Yeah, he got to. We got to get him out
I
of
gotta
here.
take some meds. We love you. Like, share, stars, all that good stuff.
He gonna get us sick just like this. Like
That's why I put the mask on.
Bro,